Alright, g'day guys, this is JSX-RE3 here, otherwise known as the Cyclone JK, and I'm here with another JK's Wonders from Down Under for Horizons 7. Now first off I want to apologise for how long it's taken. It's been over a month now. Pretty much what happened was work's had me bent over, for lack of a better word, and well, Telstra screwed up and cut off our internet for saying we didn't pay a bill. So yeah, even if I had the stuff recorded, I couldn't really post it. So yeah, apologise. I do apologise for how late this is, but better late than never. So let's get the stuff on the road. Hope you guys don't mind me having a bit of a drink. It's bloody hot today, and T-Rob, I'm halfway there. Alright, so first match is was the co-op #1 contenders match, which I wrote. Yeah, I hope everyone seemed to enjoy it. I want to explain what happened with Erica Langford being in the match. As T-Rob and Brandon know, I planned on having Erica in the match, and I wanted to have her team with Victoria Jensen, as you know, I figured be interesting to see them team up, given how much animosity they had at the start of the year. So, you know, I talked to Jed about it and talked to T-Robs, saw how they felt about it. They were cool with it. Everything was going ahead, you know, as planned. And for whatever reason, they were left off. I don't know what happened there. Maybe there was a bit of miscommunication. But I ended up being able to write the match, and, you know, I thought, you know, let's put them in anyway. Let's see how that goes. Evidently it went down alright. But either way, congratulations to Spirits United on picking up the win. Alright, so the next match was the first of the two separate cooperative title matches. You know, quite honestly, I thought that this was a very interesting way to go about it. You know, and from a writer's perspective, I myself hate writing co-op matches because it's so hard to keep track of, you know, who's in, who's there, who's had more time in the match. Ironically, I seem to always get the co-op match, but that's an issue for another day, I guess. But either way, it was very, very interesting. You know, I did quite enjoy the fact that as it was a Falls Count Anywhere match, it didn't start in a ring, which is the traditional, you know, obviously where a wrestling match traditionally begins. So yeah, you know, it was a nice touch to have it start somewhere else for a change. Congratulations, of course, to Chaos for winning that one, and commiserations to Travis Pierce for losing it, but as we later found out, didn't really matter in the end. But yeah, you know, it was pretty entertaining, I gotta say. I loved, you know, Jay's one-liner about the stop sign. That was actually kind of cool. So yeah, just generally well written. I have to take a drink after all that. Holy fuck, what a match. Right, I should say we're on to Alex Stein versus Rainius in the Type A death match. Holy fucking shit. That just describes everything that Joe has submitted over this event. That includes the return of Mickey Dragon, and, you know, shit. If JK wasn't worried about the Covenant returning before, he sure as shit will be now. You know, all that, the on-screen murders of two people, that... Holy shit, that was... You know, you didn't see it coming, honestly. And what made it worse was, you know, all the shit that Stein went through in his match. You know, that was... I feel for the guy, honestly. No one deserves all that after, you know, surviving such a vicious match. You know, one of the nice touches to it was the Ezekiel 2319 t-shirt, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the quote that's used in the movie Pulp Fiction, one of my favourite Tarantino films, so I quite enjoyed that. yeah, just some of the general carnage in that match was so unbelievable yet so entertaining. Like pouring glue over the chair and then pouring the rest of the glass shards over, over the now glued chair. Using that as a weapon, that was, very innovative and very entertaining. Congrats to Joe for winning that one. Commiserations for Rainius for losing that one. Especially because both of you put in like really, really good performances over, the pay-per-view. But I think in the end, really, Joe kind of won it because he was, for lack of a better, describing term, he was more active. And that's nothing against obviously. I mean, he went through some pretty trying shit towards the end of last year. But at the end of the day, you kind of have to pick the winner of, the pay-per-view over who's been, well, I guess the most active on the website, who's posted the best RPs throughout the month, who's replied most to shows, who's, put out replies to, promos. That always counts up to something in the end. That's how at least I try to choose my voting. Choose who I vote for, sorry. But yeah, no, congratulations again to Joe for that. Very excited to see how Mickey Dragon does. Of course, now with Ezekiel back, in the picture, there's going to be some interesting times ahead. The next match was Donovan Hastings versus Cypress Morgan. Quite an entertaining match, to say the least. It didn't have a lot of time to build up heat for it, especially because, well, pretty much their feud began back at the Travis Pierce booked edition of Synergy, simply because Donovan Hastings had a message to Zane Scott, and pretty much knocked him out cold. So, that's pretty much what kick-started everything. They didn't have a lot of time to sort of build up a lot of heat for it. Quite like another match, which is coming up later. But they did a good job of it, honestly. It was an entertaining little match, very close, and, that's something you want in a good wrestling match, is for it to be very close. You don't want to sort of walk over, especially even if someone doesn't show up. Obviously, no one did in this one. Everyone showed up. But yeah, you always want it to be close, and especially for a mid-card match like this, I'm very happy that it was close. I did love the fact that, again, Jay, he was spectacular in this on commentary, especially with Cypress Morgan's cigar that he stole. That was a nice little interlusion there. But yeah, either way, great job. Congratulations to Donovan Hastings. Commiserations, or somewhat commiserations. Cypress Morgan will show up later in the program, but yes, for so far, tough luck to him for losing that one. And yeah, so the next match was tournamental, which was between Ichabod, Vane, V, JK, and Cedric Hayes. I almost forgot his name there. Ba-boom. Now, honestly, with this match, I always saw it coming down between V and Vane, which it did. I think there was like a point difference in the end. Pretty ridiculous, isn't it? But no, congratulations to the both of them. Like, they put in great role plays. Especially V had a lot of, he kind of had a bit of promotion about his roleplay by posting that really fucking good unofficial, and that was his warm up, let's say. But yeah, pretty much JK, Ichabod, I forgot his name again. Cedric Hayes. I'm not doing good today. No, Cedric Hayes. All of those guys. We were pretty much filler. I'm not going to put it lightly or anything like that. We were filler. Suffice to say, I'm actually surprised I did as well as I did. Thank you to everyone who voted for me. But I'm on a tangent now. Yeah, this was always going to be between Vane and V. Pretty much their story. They were the ones who had a story. Everyone else sort of, slapdash. It was You know, I don't have a story, but I'm in this match. You know, that kind of thing. No, the match itself was fantastically violent. Again, something you like to see. That's something I want to bring up is, I don't know if it's just me, but Horizons felt like no holds barred with just a little bit of grandeur about it. But no, I'm not complaining. I quite enjoyed it. I'm always partial towards the gimmick matches myself, so quite enjoyed those. So yeah, congratulations to Chad, commiserations to Wayne. But yeah, I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing how this pans out for this coming year. So yeah, hopefully it should be good. And lo came the end of the feud. Yeah, the next match here is Jet Summers versus Jezebel Saint, the brother versus sister Hell in a Cell match. Pretty much the culmination of the PMM versus DMW feud, because no matter which way you boil it down to, it was always between those two in the end. And here is where we found out they weren't actually feuding. You know, everything that was done, they had all sort of partook in. And it was to get this one person, Mickey Dragon, the return. Here he comes. He, you know, interrupts this match, causes general havoc. And, you know, here's where we see all the sort of DMW characters and PMN characters coming out in aid of each other. And pretty much that's what made the match for me. These two role-played spectacularly, and, you know, they had to role-play as each other, obviously, as it was a Hell in a Cell match. And quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out they both did each other's role-plays, because they were so like each other. You know, again, very, very close match, but like I said, in the end it was just to draw out Mickey Dragon. Either way, congratulations to Jezebel Saint, you know, otherwise known as Brett, for beating Jet, otherwise known as Brandon. And yeah, pretty much bringing the chaos, not chaos, shit, I'm thinking of her tag partner now. And pretty much bringing the cooperative championships towards the Devil's Most Wanted. That won't be their only goal in the night. I won't give any spoilers away until I review that match. But pretty much this had been the feud of the year. No matter what pay-per-view, no matter what no matter what Synergy taping, there was always one constant. Piercing Media Network versus Devil's Most Wanted. I mean, sure, some can say the real story was between Eden and Zane, but even then, I see Zane as sort of a proxy DMW member. And, well, let's face it, Eden is definitely Piercing Media Network. So, even if you want to say the actual feud of the year was between those two, in a sense, I see it being Piercing Media Network versus Devil's Most Wanted anyway. So, yeah, you know, congratulations. That was a spectacular match. I can't wait to see how things go down for these guys in 2014 as well. So, yeah, honestly, we can only wait and see where this whole Mickey Dragon situation goes from here, but it's looking bloody awesome at the moment. Alright, so here we come to the next match, which didn't have a lot of time to sort of build up any heat, but ended up doing it quite well, I think. Travis Roberts versus Frick Stamos. Now, again, like I said, this match didn't really have a lot of time to build up any momentum. It came about 2 or 3 weeks after the actual Battleground event, which Travis Roberts won. It was brought up in the match that only one person before this had ever won Battleground and went on to win in Horizons. For the people who don't know, the Battleground match, pretty much the winner of that, they get to pick their match at Horizons. So it's sort of like the Royal Rumble in a way. You know, and honestly, every year it's sort of become a blessing and a curse to win that match, because generally speaking, you're not going to win Horizons if you win it. Travis Roberts sort of broke that hoodoo, and he became not only was it his first win in Horizons in 5 years, but it was also the first time in UGWC anyone's ever gone on to win the Battleground match and then win their match at Horizons. So congratulations to Travis Roberts for that. It was very close, a lot of near falls. I think it came down to a 9-5 victory in the end, so yeah, that's got to put it in perspective just how close it was in a way. Like, yeah, 4 votes, it's a lot, but I'd actually wager that really came down, a few of them, to a very marginal sort of, oh, he just wins it just. Pretty much both have been in each other's heads, as is evident in this year when Frixus is a bit worried that Travis Roberts is one of the only ones who isn't afraid of fear. At the same time, I think Travis Roberts kind of has fear in his head as well, so it's kind of a double-edged sword there. But yeah, no, congratulations to T-Rob for picking up the victory there and proving that you can win Battleground and win Horizons at the same time. Now onto the main event. Alright, well, if DMW versus PMN was always going to win the feud of the year, there was only ever going to be one possible main event for Horizons, and that was Zane Scott versus Eden Morgan, tables, ladders, chairs, for the world title. Now, why is this the only possible main event, you may ask? Well, pretty much going through this year, there hasn't really been a main event which has held the title which one of these two has not been in. So suffice it to say, you know, it's very well deserved. As far as the match goes, the votes didn't show it, but fucking hell, that was close. The match itself, how it was written, kind of showed, you know, how close they've been, even if the votes weren't skewed that way. You know, quite a lot of the time I was reading and thinking, fucking hell, what's it going to take to keep Eden Morgan down? Same with Zane Scott, you know, the guy busts his nose, gets shit thrown at, gets shit stabbed into his thigh. At the same time, Eden Morgan has a bloody ring bell thrown at her, gets sent through I don't know how many tables, hit with I don't know how many finishes that quite honestly would have taken out anyone else. It was just unbelievable, and I understand why the ending happened, but I was a little bit at it, because, you know, I don't know, to me it just felt a little anticlimactic. That doesn't mean it was a bad ending, not necessarily, but it was sort of like, oh, well, that's going to happen, okay? Although I got to admit, I'm quite interested in how this whole, you know, Cypress versus Zane thing kicked off. You know, like with his taking the title and such, I know why and everything, like, but it took me by surprise, to be honest. So yeah, that's going to lead into quite an interesting 2014, I think. And the fact that Zane Scott has, well, he's been nowhere to be seen really since the incident in character. It's going to be interesting. So yeah. This has been a JSXR3 production. Once again, I do apologise for how late it's been, but I hope you can understand the issues I've been through. So, yeah, what I'm thinking about doing for this now, though, is, well, I'm thinking about doing it just for the big pay-per-views, you know, like, I think I'll probably do it for WrestleStock, just do a brief, you know, minute per day kind of thing, just general feel of it. Possibly, well, definitely Horizons is going to be one. Possibly No Holds Barred, as that's personally my favourite. So, yeah, just let me know what you think about that. But either way, that's one thing about doing. So, yeah, catch you later.